Admiral Hugh Pigot, of Wychwood Forest in Oxfordshire, was an officer of the British Royal Navy who served during the 7 Years' War and the American Revolutionary War, and also twice as a Member of Parliament. Biography. Hugh Pigot was the third son of Richard Pigot of Westminster, by his wife Frances, daughter of Peter Good, a Huguenot who had come to England in the late 17th century. His elder brothers were George Pigot, 1st Baron Pigot, who twice served as Governor of Madras, and Lieutenant General Sir Robert Pigot, who commanded the left flank of the British forces at the Battle of Bunker Hill. Pigot entered the Navy in around 1735, serving for 4 years as a captain's servant and able seaman aboard the Captain under Captain Alexander Geddes on the home station, and then Seaford under Captain Savage Mostyn. He then served for another 2 years as a midshipman aboard the Seaford, Cumberland, and Russell. On the 5th of November 1741 he passed his examination, and on the 9th of February 1741 42 was promoted to lieutenant, and on the 2nd of August was appointed to the Romney under Captain Thomas Grenville, in the Mediterranean. In March 1744 he followed Grenville into Falkland on the home station, and on the 2nd of November 1745 was promoted to commander of the fireship Vulcan. On the 22nd of April 1746 was posted into the Centaur, apparently for rank only, and in April 1747 was appointed to command of the Ludlow Castle in the West Indies. In 1755 he was appointed captain of the 60-gun York, one of the ships put into commission in anticipation of the war with France. In 1758 he commanded York at the reduction of Louisbourg, and in 1759 commanded the 84-gun Royal William in the fleet of Sir Charles Saunders at capture of Quebec. He was employed in Royal William for the remainder of the war in the Channel, and in May 1760, chased the Diadem, a French third-rate of 74 guns, bound for Martinique with stores and specie for the payment of the soldiery, into the Groine. He saw no further service at sea following the conclusion of the war in 1763, but in 1769 was appointed colonel of the 2nd Division of Marines, shortly before he had been chosen as representative in Parliament for the borough of Penrhyn, a government-dominated borough which frequently chose distinguished naval officers as its MPs. Pigot was a close friend of the Prime Minister, the Duke of Grafton, and this connection was cemented when Grafton married Elizabeth Rusley, sister of Pigot's second wife, Frances. Pigot represented Penrhyn until 1774, but did not contest the general election that year. In January 1771 he was appointed to command of the Triumph, one of the ships commissioned during the dispute with Spain over the Falkland Islands. When the crisis was peaceably settled, his ship was put out of commission, and Pigot held no subsequent commission as a captain. On the 31st of March 1775 he was promoted to Rear Admiral, and to Vice Admiral on the 7th of December. In 1778, following the death of his brother, Lord George Pigot, he was elected to fill his seat in Bridgnorth. By this time he was a consistent opponent of Lord North's government, and seems to have been denied command for political reasons. When Sheridan attacked the government in the Commons in February 1782 for driving the most distinguished naval commanders out of the service, it was Pigot who rose in answer to the invitation to give instances of the First Lord of the Admiralty's conduct towards officers who were his political opponents. With the fall of the government the following month, on the 30th of March 1782, Pigot was appointed one of the Lords of the Admiralty in the Rockingham administration, and on the 8th of April 1782 was promoted to Admiral and appointed to supersede Sir George Rodney as Commander-in-Chief in the West Indies. Pigot hoisted his flag on board the 50-gun Jupiter, and sailed from Plymouth on the 18th 15th of May, only a day before the arrival of the frigate bringing the news of the defeat of the French fleet under Comte de Grasse at the Battle of the Saints, on the 12th of April. Although Rodney was neither in favor with the new ministry, nor a particularly popular commander, it was considered politic to allow him to remain in command, and a message was sent after Pigot to recall him. However, it failed to arrive before he had assumed command at Jamaica on the 13th of July. His appointment was allowed to proceed, and Rodney received an apology and was made a baron. Pigot, having hoisted his flag on board the 98-gun Formidable, then sailed, as was customary at the time, to America during the hurricane months. Pigot had little experience as a captain, with none as an admiral. His second-in-command, Samuel Hood, seems to have regarded him with mixed feelings of pity and contempt, and considered that the government had acted unwisely in placing an officer at the head of so great a fleet who was unequal to the very important command, for want of practice. In any event, Pigot's term of command was uneventful, and following the signing of the peace treaty in September 1783, he returned to England. Pigot retired from the Navy on the 30th of December 1783, and was defeated at Bridgenorth at the general election of 1784. Admiral Pigot died at Bristol on the 15th of December 1792. Personal life. Pigot was twice married, firstly c. 1749, to Elizabeth La Neve, by whom he had a son, General Sir Henry Pigot, and a daughter, and secondly c. 1768, to Frances, the daughter of the Very Reverend Sir Richard Rosley, 7th Baronet, by whom he had a second son, Captain Hugh Pigot, R.N., and two daughters. He inherited a 1/3 share of the Pigot diamond from his older brother, which remained in the family until sold in a lottery in 1801.